I haven't yet started using and just waiting to see how it all evolves. Came to learn, so I hope I will understand something from it.
I'm here because we also have the same Siemens technique in the house, and we just use it for aortic arches mainly, and I'm trying to learn to use it for other tools as well.
We enjoy very in this symposium because we have also such a tool like a three-dimensional rotational angiography. So it's a very interesting symposium for us and for all of the interventional cardiologists.
I'm here because they invited me, and I am very, very, very proud and honored to be here because I think this is an amazing conference, and in 10 years' time we're all going to be saying we were at the first.
I'm not using it myself, but I'm sending patients for angiography a lot.
Unfortunately, we don't have a 3D rotational cath lab yet. That's why I'm here, to have an idea what, and I look forward to have a new cath lab in our institution and hopefully have a 3D rotational as well.
My field is non-invasive imaging, and I would like to learn a bit more about invasive imaging. So I'm looking forward for the whole symposium.
I remember when I was a kid and we had to say, what would the world look like? No one imagined it would look like this. I think the future is that we have to demand from the younger physicians, okay, to understand technology, to use technology, to help drive it forward with the companies and with the needs of whatever will be in medicine in the future, and not to just be locked in and saying, well, I've done it this way, so I'm doing it that way. We have to be very versatile. We have to be innovative, and the future will develop. So I don't know what the future is going to be, but I know it's going to be exciting. I know it's going to be 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D. And I think we just have to demand from our younger colleagues who are much more open to new technologies to go with the flow and to add their ideas and their needs to the flow. And then the future is just going to be very, very exciting and very good for our patients.
There are more rapid developments with imaging in the last few years, and 3D rotational angiography is one area. Now, whenever you have a new technique, it has to be carefully evaluated. Now, there are important advantages to this technique, and yesterday and today we've had a lot of discussions about the new imaging technique. But as happens with every new technique, there are disadvantages to them, and so we have to have these symposia, we have to evaluate the techniques, and then work out the strengths and weaknesses for the longer term. And so in 5 to 10 years' time, it may be that this technology has been superseded by better technology later on, but it's only with these initiatives that we get to that stage of further development, feeding back with the industry, telling them what we as clinicians need, and them developing things further, and then us re-evaluating and then coming up with a much better technology for the future.
A few things in medicine are black and white, eh? So I think that really what 3D rotational angiography is it's a tool. It's another tool that we have. I've always been of the mindset that give us all the tools and then let us choose what we use when we use it. Medicine is still as much an art as it is a science, and different people will utilize different tools to get to the same results. So I think at the end of the day, symposia like this, debates like this, their importance is really in giving people an education about what's available. And then we each go and we make our own decisions in the best interest for our patients and our practice, and everybody does that a little bit differently. So it's not so much the convincing as it is the ultimate educational aspect.
What is the real difference between what we did until a couple of years ago, and many people do still in the world, and what we do now? Well, so I have to compare it with a tree. That's what it comes up to. If we take a look at the tree, which is faced on a picture in black and white, then we see a tree where the branches are in a two-dimensional way demonstrated. If we want to see what is happening on the left upper branch, which bird is sitting there, we have to go out of this picture. We have to take a look at our garden. We have to go into the garden, get to the tree, and climb on one of these branches. So this is all about information. And what Elchanan and Even and Jacques and all we share is we have to have the best information available to understand the problem. Well, some of the problems deal with branches, the pulmonary arteries, the aortic way to descend, and left-right chamber morphology. It's all about information. How do I visualize a tree, his trunk, and the branches which are connected to the trunk? When I compare the two-dimensional black and white, which still is necessary, with the three-dimensional options being part of the new toolkit, then the 3D enables us to go to the tree, jump on the branch, and as a bird look at the lower left end and understand for the first time, because we have chosen the best perspective, what happens in this corner.
The debate is important to have, and it's important to have in the future. The symposium is even more important to have now and also to have in the future. And I think this institution in Utrecht is really leading on this, and it would be important to continue it.
This is, as I said, emerging technology. We're really just at the very, very beginning of this. And as Dr. Qureshi said, this may be replaced in 10 years by another technology. And this symposium would be a great format for that. I could see this evolving from a symposium just on three-dimensional rotational angiography to perhaps just newer imaging modalities for interventional cardiologists. Because I think this is just the beginning. Now that we've seen three-dimensional imaging in the cath lab and have a taste for it. I think things like three-dimensional echo and through other forms of holograms we've heard about, et cetera, I think this may be a forum to discuss those as the future goes.
So if we now have these new toys, we have these new images, we have these new techniques, it's our responsibility as physicians doing the best for our patient to say, I need this technique for this person. And if we don't have it, to try and develop it and to try and use it. And I think that's one of the things that 3D rotational angiography at the moment, without becoming too romantic about the idea, but just saying that now we have a very, very, very good imaging tool. How can we use it in this type of particular setting of examples that I've given in the previous answer? And that's where we are at the moment. And that's what I think we need to do. And I think that what's very, very important is to have conferences like this on a regular basis, so that we can interact and learn from each other. Because new technologies only develop when you have ideas from other people coming in.
This is a debate that I've been waiting for my entire life. To debate the esteemed Dr. Qureshi is something one only dreams as a medical student. So really this is my moment, and I've been living for it. So I'm very excited, slightly intimidated. Dr. Qureshi is a man of high intelligence and tremendous wit. Unfortunately, he's on the wrong side of this debate, so it should be a pretty straightforward affair to slay him and have him lying at my feet when I'm done. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee?
No, I am
the greatest.
I have very rarely the time to go on meetings where I learn such a lot. And we had this device in our hospital, in our cath lab for 1 year. We had used it barely, and I think I come back now and use it every day.
I like it very much. I think it's nice to see that the interventionists are taking on three-dimensional like they should have been doing for the last 10 years. Come on, guys. And you need the information before you go in the cath lab. That's what I think.
Asking questions and sharing with one another, and I think that's a good thing in a congress like this. So thank you.
It's a good
concept to bring together the real experts of the field. Not too many people, because are not so many people engaged, and for the broader field of pediatric cardiology, I think it's necessary to get the people used to the results, but this is a meeting how to get good results, and this is a meeting for real experts. And so I think don't become too big. It's good to have an open discussion, and I have learned most on all those open and really trusty discussions.
I enjoyed it very much. I think that it's a very good start for this new field in cardiac imaging, and I expect that during the following meetings we will see even much more of the possibilities and chances that this gives to us in treating our patients. So I'm really satisfied with this.